Our next question, Andrew Probyn.
Prime Minister Andrew Probyn from the ABC. Your ministerial colleague, Darren Chester, said today the biggest deficit in Australia was one of trust, and it's in the spirit of that question that I present you what was referred to before by Mark Riley, which looks very much like a politically corrupted government scheme here. What do you say to the hundreds of community groups, not-for-profits, councils who spent a lot of time putting together their grant applications, did so thinking that the process would be one that was going to be devised by merit as opposed to political advantage? And what will you do, and can you promise that you will ensure that future slush funds aren't treated in such a fashion?
Well, Andrew, I'll put your editorial to one side and your commentary on it. That's your view, and that's what you've put forward. What the government was doing was supporting local community infrastructure projects, and I know that all of which were eligible under the program, all of which will make a difference in the community. And there are always many more. I've served as a minister in a number of portfolios. I remember when I was the Minister for Social Services in the Department of Social Services Grants, which is about an $800 million program. And we'd put in place an arrangement where all of those decisions were made solely by the department. And after those decisions were taken, you know what had happened? Wonderful community organisations that have been providing emergency cash relief and local play groups and all these things were all defunded. It was just stripped away from them. And so as social services, I worked with the Prime Minister at the time to ensure that we could go back and ensure that they got the support. On other occasions, departments have made decisions which have stripped money from Food Bank, and I've had to reverse those decisions. You know, politicians, ministers, members of Parliament, we're part of our community. We know what's happening in our community. We're in touch with our community. We know the things that can make a difference in our community. And it's important because we're accountable to those people in our communities for getting stuff done that's going to make a difference in their communities. Now, in my answer to Mark, I said this. There are many, many, many more worthy projects in this area. I agree with that. And I'll work with the Treasurer to see how we can better support even more projects in the future. But on any grants program, however it's done, there will always be many applicants whose projects are very worthy and they're unable to be accommodated by the budget that we've set. We're a responsible government that manages public money carefully. That's why we've been able to put $2 billion like that, without a tax, without a levy, to support those most deeply affected by this bushfire crisis. And so our reputation and track record when it comes to responsible financial management speaks for itself.